Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. To summarize, I've been gone for like a week, but I think I'll post this after last week's video, so I don't think I'll actually have been gone. I pre-filmed that video for the week that I was traveling, but it just didn't work out. So I'm really sorry that I missed a week. I promised I was going to be more consistent, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Anyway, welcome to the video. My name is Nisha. If you're new here, today we're gonna be starting a new book together. I told you I don't like working on two projects at the same time because it's really hard for me to separate my brain, and I'm really pushing Bewitched, which is my current writing project, to the finish line right now. I want to query by like the end of this year or early next year, and I think that that's a really attainable goal. But yeah, I'm not going to be working on Bewitched today, and I know that that might be a complete shock because I think I've said in some of my past videos that I don't like starting many projects at once, and I like to really stick to something, and I am planning to query Bewitched at the end of this year or early next year, but today I'm not in the mood. Like I will be in the mood soon. Like I have so much love for that project, but today we're gonna work on something else. I think over the span of the past 2 days, I have written so much trash poetry. I think I have enough for a whole book of poetry. Obviously, I'm not going to publish my poetry because it's so personal. It's like someone going through racks and racks of my brain. I like transforming those poetry lines and things I've written into a writing project or some sort of draft. So that's kind of what we're doing today. I was in the studio today, you know, like at my job. I was thinking about I've been doing a lot of thinking. Once my pen started moving, I couldn't stop, okay? So I've been writing like pages and pages everywhere, scattered across every medium. I have some in my Google Docs, in my notes, in my notebook, everywhere, in my brain, honestly. I think it's kind of my forte to write some bullshit. I mean, I wrote this the other day and I really liked it. I haven't even introduced the project to you. But anyway, I wrote this the other day and I'll share it to you because I actually like this poem, so bear with me. I was going to claw my way back if I needed to, he said, after he carved a hole in the middle of us both and lit our remains on fire. We said goodbye with scratches all over our skin, bleeding out on grounds foreign to one another from how hard we tried to hold on, pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling, until we were only left with bitten bones and souls so intertwined, Shakespeare would write a tragedy about us. And then I got lost into this idea of having a person that isn't really a person. They're some sort of energy sent to literally kill you. I think I talked to my friends about this and I wouldn't tell them what it was about because it sounded so stupid coming out of my mouth. I literally have scraps of 1,000 poems and then a baseline of a story. I don't even know how I want to start, like where I want to start. I don't even know what genre this is in, to be honest. I'm gonna list out the themes because I don't really have anything, like I've said. The themes of the book are souls, karma, assassin. Actually, a few months ago, I wrote a few chapters of this random book about an assassin, and it makes so much sense. I'm just gonna use it for this book. I basically wrote it in my iPad, and I don't know how good it is. I honestly have nothing. I think I was like writing, I don't know what I was writing. At first, like I wasn't sure if I wanted who I wanted to be the really evil one, but then I realized I kind of want both of them to be evil because like I said, no one is really that good. Like everyone is a little bit evil, okay? And you know what? That's fine. So it's basically going to be about a trained assassin and this person that is actually karma incarnated. Oh my God, it's kind of good, right? I don't know. I haven't started a new book in so long. Honestly, I don't even know how to start. I'm so lost. I opened my laptop. I don't really have much right now. This is literally all I have from a poem that I wrote, but it was, I assumed you were some sort of deity descended straight from the clouds in my childhood bedroom at 17. I looked at you and you don't feel real. If I stuck my hand through where your heart should be, I would be grasping at air. And that's kind of all I have in this planning draft. The reason why I want this book to be called Poets is because a lot of times when I write, especially when I write poetry by myself that no one reads, I love going back to poetry and romance in books, you know, and thinking about like, okay, would the poets think that this is a great tragedy? Something that's romanticized, but in a poetic way. Like, okay, it ended, but it's poetic. Like I said, I don't have anything. I have the poems that I read you. I have tens of other poems, and I have a few chapters that I wrote. I don't even know if they're good enough to read to you, to be honest. When I wrote this, it was about like sirens or something like that. And it was about how she was about to kill someone again. But I have another one that I wrote and I don't know where it is, to be honest. Is it my phone? Guys, I have too many writing mediums I'm writing on and I don't know where anything is anymore. Guys, it is in my phone. Okay, yeah, there's like an opera house and it makes me think of that song by Cigarettes After Sex, literally called Opera House. I have a name for her, but I don't want to read it to you because I don't like this name and I'm going to change it. She strains her posture in the window, her claws combing through her hair. He passed the blinding lights of the theater's sign and she caught the first glimpse of his face. What a shame that pretty face is about to die. There weren't enough pretty men around. Only decaying old ones who have nothing better to do than cheat on the weekends. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. And it goes on and on about how she's about to kill this guy. When I wrote this, it was supposed to be a different dynamic where she is a siren of sorts and he is some sort of like detective police sort of person and he was trying to catch her and she was trying to kill him. That's kind of the dynamic that I thought of when I was writing this, but now it has changed. Maybe that one's better than the one I thought of. Assassin and Karma or Law Enforcement and Siren. Those are really weird pairings, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like this book isn't going to be so fantasy heavy. It's gonna be darker than Bewitched. Bewitched is more of like a light romantasy, but I think this is more, it's darker, it's more crimey, I guess. Crimey is not a word, but you know what I mean. I'm enjoying just like thinking about it and kind of slipping into this new world. Low-key, I want some coffee. Like, I kind of want to hit a Starbucks right now. Should we go hit a Starbucks? I kind of want a coffee. Should we get a coffee? And I have 5 Starbucks gift cards in my bag. I don't even drink Starbucks anymore, but I have them laying in my bag because I got them for free. So let's go. I want a coffee. That's the thing. Okay, let's go. Hi guys, welcome back to being in the studio. I spent the entirety of my night last night writing this book. But honestly, I'm gonna be so for real with you right now. This book is a lot of shards of emotions rather than a straight up plot. And I kind of wish that I had more of a plot, which I am going to do eventually. I'm telling you straight up right now, I haven't thought of these characters that much. I haven't really planned out anything. The most I planned out was when we were together yesterday evening and we were like talking it through. I think I've said this before in another writing vlog, but sometimes when you want to write something, you have to write it at that exact moment. And a lot of times when you're so excited for something, it kind of falls short. So when you want to write something, just do it at that exact moment. That's kind of what I've learned, no matter if it's like 10 chapters ahead or 20. I've written this line. I really like it so far. This is completely unedited, so I'm just sharing you like literally rough drafts, okay? But, and even when a deathly knife had ran through her flesh by his own loving hands, she still thought of him as something short of a soulmate. They were made of the same dust and particles, or maybe she was scathing, finding reasons as to why she felt irrecoverably drawn to him. In truth, as she laid here, there may have been no divine intervention at all. And then I also wrote this line I also like. They were tied up in chains and zip ties on their travel bags. She couldn't turn him into another body, couldn't turn him into a husband. They were doomed. A Shakespearean tragedy, some would say. But I'm just a little bit unsure about how I want their characters to be. I'm kind of hoping that they write themselves, to be honest. She's on a mission right now, but I also don't want her to be so chasey because I feel like he should be the one chasing. Why would anyone chase a man, truly? I don't want her to be so like, come with me, blah, blah. But she has an agenda, so it kind of has to happen. So that's the whole reason why she's nagging him. So I just don't want her to be a hateable character. I think sometimes when you write a female character like as a female, it's a little bit tough. Like I don't know why, because I think like with men, with my sexuality, unfortunately, I kind of know what I like in a man, so it's kind of easier to create that person that like other women, when they read my stuff, you guys won't get icked out by it. I just don't want my female lead to be disliked. I feel like there's a lot of female leads that are disliked, so I don't want my female leads to be part of that gang. I literally have work until 7 today, so I don't think I'll be able to talk to you again. I don't even think I got that much b-roll for this vlog, honestly, but it is what it is. So yeah, but I hope you enjoy it anyway, because like I miss talking to you and I'm excited for what we're creating together. Hi guys, it's been a few days since we've last spoken. I've been really busy at work, so that's where I've been. Let's talk about the book that we're writing. I don't know where I last left you off, but I think I'm gonna keep the fact that she's a siren. I like that fact, and I think it makes sense with the whole like opera house. Right now, we're going to build the playlist and also the Pinterest board, which are two very, very exciting things. So I have my Pinterest open, so let's just like work on it. I think I called it the Sirens Project. I really think that instead of doing all of this, I should be actually making a fucking plan for this book. book, but I just have no plan. I'm just kind of freeballing it right now. I will be thinking of a plan soon, but low-key I've been spending a lot of my time on this project, like thinking about it, writing it, like actually putting words down on paper and making real like progress in it. You know what I mean? I feel like I've just been kind of living in my head, so a lot of the times I'm just in this book. I feel like at least I'm utilizing my emotions for something productive. Siren's project is what I'm calling it so far. I know I've called it poets, I've called it whatever, and I think that if the book still has that overlying theme of poetry, I will keep the title that I have been thinking of and have played with a lot. I have like a list of titles that I've been wanting to use, and I think that this would be absolutely perfect if it still had that same theme of poetry. Let me show you the mood board real quick. I don't even know if this project is ever even going to see the light of day. There's a huge difference between a project being actually good and me being emotional. Okay, so we have lovers to enemies, we have lots of red, lots of smoke and singing, and I'm still kind of deciding the guy's background and like everything like that. Low-key, I kind of like the same idea of law enforcement and that theme of betrayal. This is genuinely how I brainstorm a book. I just kind of scroll on Pinterest. I just find scenes and things like this, and then I save it to the board. There's a lot of themes of invisible string and the red string theory in Chinese folklore. This one's really good. There's a scene in here that I wrote and handcuffs are involved. Not in that way. Could be, but not. Anyway, this is kind of the mood board. I added like a few things. I really like this one. I think that this one, I feel really inspired by this one. Lovers to enemies is also something that I've never written before, and it's something that I am not that fond of, but I will write it. We're also going to be making the playlist for this book. We're gonna call it, let's just call it Sirens. And then let's find a cover photo. I don't know what the cover photo should be. None of them are good cover photos, to be honest. I think this is, but I don't really know if I wanna see their mouths all the time. Maybe I will honestly just use this. Okay, we're gonna add about you. We're gonna add willing and able. You're still everything. Doors is pretty good. Can you feel that this is honestly gonna be insane? We could add say don't go. Dying for you. No one noticed. Look at this playlist right now. About you, willing and able, you're still everything, doors, say don't go, always everywhere, dying for you, no one noticed, drag path. That looks like hell. I've literally written like 2,000 words in this manuscript. I wrote one document as a bunch of chopped up scenes. That sounds terrible, but honestly, it's what is working for me right now is like I'm writing small scenes and like I'm not sure where to place it yet. Where I place the breaking point is very important to the story because if I want it to be a romance, I have to place it towards the end. So the majority of the book is a romance book, and then you hit the end and then they have to resolve it in some way because I still want a happy ending. I'm not sure if I want this book to be a happy ending, but I think I do because like who the fuck is gonna read a bad ending? I can either do that and make the majority of it a romance, or I can place it at kind of the beginning of the book. So those are like the two options I have in my head. I want to plan out the politics because I haven't done that yet, and I feel like if it is going to be Siren versus law enforcement, the politics has to be very planned out. There has to be a reason as to why they're both doing what they're doing. I'm pitching this book as kind of Mr. and Mrs. Smith x One for My Enemy, but I don't know if One for My Enemy is a great pitch for this. I feel like I'm only pitching One for My Enemy because they both want to kill each other and they have loyalties and stuff like that, which is the only reason why I'm thinking about One for My Enemy. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Honestly, I've just been rambling and rambling, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm excited to write. I think it's going along okay, which is surprising to me. I don't know if this book is ever going to see the light of day. Maybe in 2 weeks, I'm going to feel differently about it and I'll read it back and I'll be like, what the fuck did I even write? Hi guys, I'm sorry if my hair looks crazy. I curled it with a curling wand and then I put it in a bun. The curls are fucked. Let's just say that. I will say I've made some progress in this book. I don't really know how I feel about it overall. I feel like I made two very terrible characters, but I feel like, okay, I feel like compared to my other project, this book is in a whole different realm. Sure, it's also fantasy with romantic elements, but the entire concept of it, like the characters, is so different to how I built Bewitched. I built Bewitched in a way where I wanted you guys to like and fall in love with the characters and actually root for them. I feel like in this book, they're both terrible people and you kind of root for none of them. I never thought I would ever write a book like this before. I don't even know what you would kind of call this. I guess like a fantasy romance, but the characters are unlikable in itself, and I think that that adds to the charm of the book. It's definitely a style, it's definitely a choice. Like I told you in the last clip, I've been writing scraps of this book. So like scenes and dialogue, but they're all scattered across different chapters and I'm not sure how to place them. I'm kind of brain dumping. I don't really have a distinct plan, nor do I have a direction. Wow, this is just sounding terrible. I don't have anything. No, but I feel very good about the project. Strangely, I don't know how to word it, but I feel like the writing this time is very raw. You can kind of feel it through the page. Like the writing style is so different. It doesn't sound like me a lot. I think if I were to describe the writing style between Bewitched and Sirens, I would say I feel like Bewitched is more calculated while the writing style in Sirens is more raw. I don't know if this book is even marketable to the audience because I haven't really made the plot yet. I've written a lot of the peak scenes, but like I've mentioned before, I kind of like writing those scenes whenever I feel like I want to, just because I know that if I come back to them with the insane anticipation of wanting to write them, it's just not going to turn out the way I want it to. Any chance I get to work on this book, I honestly do it because it's such a fun outlet for me. Kind of love this project a little bit. I love that I get to use the scraps of poetry that I've written down over the past month and kind of scatter them into this book. And also the fact that I get to make the most fucked up characters known to man is so fun to me. I think that even if this book is never completed, even if it never sees the light of day, I'm so glad that I got to write these chapters and these scenes because I actually really like them. I like them individually. I don't know how it's going to work as a book, which is why I'm saying all of this. I can show you guys like some bits and pieces that I've written. I like this line that I wrote, but actually I like this whole chapter. I think it builds emotion pretty well, so I kind of like it all together, but obviously I can't read you the entire thing. It's like 4 pages long. For some reason, it's only 700 words. Maybe it's because of my spacing, but anyway. There wasn't much Seraphine knew any longer. When your whole world flips on you, you wonder if you've jumped timelines and entered a reality where your lover resented you in the name of love. If we're talking about the real draft of this book where I'm going like chapter by chapter, I'm currently in the scene where they're kind of meeting for the first time, and low-key, why is that hard for me? You have to find clever ways to introduce them to each other, and they don't like each other yet, so you have to make them like each other. And when you're writing scenes like this, you're kind of flirting with yourself in your brain over and over again. I think overall, compiled every single scene that I've written for this book, I have around 4,000 words, which is really not that much, but it's quality over quantity, I believe. That is all I have for this video, so thank you so much for watching. Comment down below if you have any interest in this book whatsoever, because I personally am not sure yet. I don't know if I want to continue. Oh my god, my nail is stuck in my ring. Okay, sorry. I don't know if I want to continue this. I don't know if you're interested in the story or if it sounds boring to you guys. Obviously, I really want to query Bewitched by the end of this year, so I don't know if I want to even be spending time on this project, but it does sound like something that I want to work on in the future just because of how it's going at the moment. I mean, I'll probably make a few more episodes of me actually writing this book and, you know, trying to piece it together, especially as I'm wrapping up Bewitched. It's nice to have a project to land on once you wrap up your old project, so that's kind of what I'm doing. Bewitched updates, I'm kind of past the midpoint, right? I honestly don't even remember anymore. The last time I worked on Bewitched, I was in China and I didn't even do much. I just kind of corrected the scene. Also, comment down below if there's any specific video ideas that you want to see from me, and I would love to make them. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. It was so fun starting a new project with you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!